Welcome back to This Day Live, the Sunday talk show here on the Arise News channel. Now, to go to our next subject of the day, which is the crisis in the People's Democratic Party, the showdown in Abuja when policemen on Tuesday took over the national secretariat of the party as camps jostled to take over the national secretariat, where both parties, both factions, both camps in the struggle had fixed as venue for meetings of crucial organs of the party. Earlier, the camp loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, arrived at the PDP National Secretariat in preparation for the meeting with the police, providing security. Arise correspondent Mary Chinda reports that some hours later, the other faction of the party, whose members included the PDP National Chairman, Kabiru Tanimu Turaki SAN, Oyo State Governor Sheyi Makinde, and his Bauchi State counterpart, Bala Mohammed, arrived at the Wadata Plaza National Secretariat for the meeting. This triggered a confrontation with a detachment of policemen who fired tear gas to disperse the crowd. Majeed Dahiru is a political affairs analyst who has written a lot about the People's Democratic Party. He joins me now from our Abuja studio on This Day Live on Sunday. Hello, Majeed Dahiru. Good to have you on This Day Live, the Sunday live show. Greetings.
Thank you very much, Doctor, and a happy birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you. Well, very quickly, the PDP showdown. What do you think? Is this the party moving from the intensive care unit to the mortuary, or you believe that the party will survive? And is this the truth and affirmation of the claim that the APC has its agents in the party and is determined to have a wholesale APC Nigerian state? What are your views? What dimensions do you see?
Well, the crisis in the PDP is one that was actually self-inflicted. I've always traced the root of this crisis to the 2023 presidential election when the PDP violated zoning, and the consequences of what we are seeing now. However, yes, there are some individuals in the PDP that openly have declared support for the President Bola Tinubu of the APC, even ahead of his former declaration for presidency. And definitely it will be the interest of such players to have the party remain in comatose so as not to provide any formidable opposition to the ruling party. I think it's part of the strategy that ruling parties deploy to decimate their opponents. But this is only made possible because the PDP itself already had a problem that it was grappling with. And we had predicted that if the PDP violated zoning in 2023 by not ceding its candidacy to the South, it was going to run into troubled waters and sink into oblivion in the post-Buhari era. So what you see happening now is simply part of what was really predicted ahead of time. And hopefully the PDP and its members at this point in time, I don't know how they're going to manage their affairs, because for what it is worth, we need vibrant opposition in the polity to keep the ruling party on their toes. But the PDP appears to have failed more in opposition than it failed in power. And as to the question whether the PDP is heading towards the graveyard or still in the ICU, I think what is happening to the PDP is that the various disputants to the crisis, in the crisis, are struggling over the carcass of the PDP, over the corpse of the PDP. I say this because Minister Wike, on one hand, who is one of the protagonists in the crisis in the PDP, and his former friend Tonfo, Governor Makinde, or Sheyi Makinde for your state, both of them, I do not think that they have any so much of a different strategy or end game objective, because Makinde is not really going to pose a serious opposition to President Tinubu, as well as Wike, who is also supporting the president. So for me, whoever has the upper hand at the end of the day the PDP will still not be out of the woods because both of these men are actually supporters of the president. They threw their support behind him in the last election. So for whatever it is worth, the PDP for now is unlikely to recover fully before the 2027 presidential election.
Okay. When you say so, can we then assume, on the basis of your submissions, that there will be no contest in the 2027 presidential election, and that we may all just go and relax and say President Tinubu already has a second term? Because really, it's not just the PDP that is in disarray. The Labour Party is also in disarray. So are we faced with the fait accompli of a one-party state? Will you go that far in your submission?
No, not exactly.
Okay.
No, not exactly. In fact, to the contrary, I think ordinarily what would have been in favor of the president and to his advantage, which is the fact that the PDP is actually died a slow death, may have been bungled by the president himself, as seen in his inability to deliver on some of his critical mandate as president and commander-in-chief. The economic crisis is still biting hard, and the renewed insecurity, heightening insecurity in Nigeria, that he appears not to have a clue as to how to solve, is something that would trigger a renewed opposition, and it can be on any platform. And so the president and his handlers should not think that because they are done with the PDP, or the PDP is done with itself, that it's going to be a smooth sail for the president. I can tell you that if it takes Nigerians any platform at all, it could be any platform. It can be a fringe political party. Nigerians are likely going to seek for an alternative if the president does not improve on his governance delivery performance. I say this because, Dr. Abati, you will recall that in 2011, the ANPP then was supposed to be the largest opposition party in Nigeria. But it was not the ANPP that posed the biggest challenge to the PDP in the 2011 presidential election. It was the CPC. Similarly, in the 2023 presidential election, it wasn't even the PDP too that posed the most difficult challenge to the APC. It was the Labour Party. So there's nothing stopping Nigerians again from picking another party and identifying another individual that they feel holds the key to their salvation and rallying around such a person. Because the situation is there. And I keep saying it that in as much as you have what you call incumbency advantage that is conferred on sitting governments, but that advantage can only be enhanced if such governments perform to the satisfaction of the majority of the people. But when the sitting government does not perform at all, its incumbency becomes a disadvantage that can be converted as an opportunity for the opposition to come to power. So I cannot see a Nigerian state becoming one that is governed by one party. However, the PDP might not be that party that will lead the next opposition.
Well, I get your point, but elections are won by political parties within the structure. No matter the level of opposition within the civil society, you still need a political platform to win the elections. I just wanted you to project and say, well, this is the alternative political platform. Do you see anyone, now that we both agree that, the PDP, has lost its growth? Which party do you think will be
Well, I
stronger?
cannot identify one. Well, I cannot identify any party now, as I'm talking to you. But if the downward performance of this current administration continues, I can assure that a party will emerge. The people themselves will search for a party and coronate that party as the main opposition driver in the coming elections. Because we are a democracy, and Nigerians have sufficiently made up their mind that democracy is here to stay, and that to fix what is wrong with our democracy is to apply more democracy. So I still believe that with time, if nothing improves, Nigerians will come together and rally behind a political party, no matter how fringe or unknown that party is, and support a candidate that they think will meet their leadership need.
Okay. I like your optimism, but that future political party that you say will emerge on the basis of people's pressures and resolve will still have to be registered by the same government that may not either want a new political strong party or even electoral reform. But all of that is in the future, in the realm of speculation, and we will see, since we are all involved. Thank you very much, Majeed Dahiru, for joining us on This Day Live, the Sunday Talk Show.